So some common mistakes that I see my clients make when I'm doing love workings is they'll start to get anxious and they'll be like, oh, the person isn't reaching out to me, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll start to initiate contact with the person instead. You do not want to do that. You want to allow that person to come to you. You don't want to initiate contact with them first, okay? Next is let's say they still have communication with the person. They'll actually get anxious or feel like the person isn't doing what they want them to do, and they'll literally start fighting with the person while we're doing love working. And that is the ultimate no-no, because once you start fighting with the person, you basically cause the spell to kind of lose its potency in a way, because you're putting negativity into the air. You're basically, you need to try to avoid all fighting as possible. I know that's not always 100% like easy, especially if you're living with the person or whatever, but you really need to just try to walk away from fights, try to keep them at a very bare minimum, because it does cause the spell to lose potency when you start fighting with that person. Because what's ultimately happening is with love workings, we're not pulling an energy out of thin air. We're working on an energy that already exists, a love that had once existed, a feeling that had once existed in this person, and we're working that energy to come back and renew, basically. And so that's why it's important that the person does have feelings for you, or that you get a reading to see how this person really feels about you underneath all the negativity, because you want that person to still have something for you, because ultimately what we're working from is a place of energy that already had existed. So once you start fighting with that person and we're trying to bring up this old feeling and this old energy, if you start fighting with that person, then it just reminds them of why they don't want to be with you. It just brings up the negativity again. So the whole point of the spells are to bring up love and things that had already existed, and maybe things they had already done for you, or whatever that is. But fighting is a big no-no, and it can really affect the outcome of the spell. So if you want the best outcome, you need to try to follow these rules of not reaching out